So I've already signed in. I've already created an account through Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. You're looking at. I'm going to do my best to show you all different screens, but you're looking at my hosting screen. I'm going to sign in with my credentials if I remember them. And you notice you can sign in with Facebook or Google or whichever. So this becomes your desktop, becomes your dashboard, if you will. This is where you would set up meetings. You could join an existing meeting if you want. Notice your account is all over here. All of your information is in this account panel. You can go ahead and buy that license for $14.95 if you want. But this is this is the free version. I am not an expanded user in any way, shape, or form. So the first thing you would want to do is probably schedule a meeting. You can start a meeting just by hitting new meeting. So let's see what this looks like. There is my meeting. I'll just make the window bigger so you actually can see the whole thing. So here's some options right here. Join audio, join with computer audio, test speaker and microphone. You could do all of those things. You can automatically join the audio by computer when joining a meeting. Again, there are ways to turn it on once you're in the meeting. It's up to you. I will say join with computer audio. And again, this is just a straightforward meeting. You could invite people from here if you want, but you're going to see me use an invitation to set up another meeting with different views. Let me go through this screen because this is a common screen with everybody. Here are your mute pieces. You've got mute, audio, and stop video. So the minute I say stop video, you will actually see this is what you see when people don't want to show their face in video. If I mute the audio, the none of the audio will show. You know, it says you are muted now. Press Shift Command A to unmute your microphone. I'm not sure if that just muted my recording or not, but I'll keep my mute off. The other piece to mute, I would tell you, is there's some interesting pieces here. Probably shut my recording right off. There's a piece in here. This is where you would pick what you're using. So the fast tracks that you see, you won't have on yours. That's the digital input that I'm using to record from this microphone. But just make sure up in here, it says, select the speaker, select the microphone. If you get a Bluetooth headphone in, you'll see that in here. So just make sure both your microphone and your speaker are set up either for your headphones or through the computer itself. Start video, clearly, and again, you're going to have some options here. Choose a camera. Most of your Macs have the camera built right into the screen, so you'll see the light appear at the top of the Mac. So I'm going to put video back up. Hi again. You can see I'm in the wonderful audio lab here at Bridgton Academy, and I have done well to make myself look pretty for this presentation. How are we all doing? I hope everybody is doing as well as they can. Down below, again, as the host, you have multiple options. You can actually record a whole session. This is the chat piece. It's probably going to go outside of my screen. Yeah, let me pull this back in here. Let's shrink it up. So there's the chat idea, where, again, you would tell your students to, post to everybody. They don't have to. You can actually post to, I can't choose anybody because nobody else is in this meeting. When I do the invited meeting, I'll go ahead and you'll see other people in here. But you can actually send private messages to people too. So you can actually have a student send just you a message where it would only show up in your chat up here. But they could also post to the entire class as well. And again, using chat, a great feature to tell your students to say, if you have a question while I'm talking, if you have a question, put it up to chat. And as a teacher, I would look over to the right and I would say, Billy, what, you have a question. This is Billy's question. Or I might say, Billy, ask your question. Give them a chance to turn on the microphone for them, ask the question, and it'll be a little bit better. You want to have a free for all. The hard part with Zoom, with computer audio, is that anytime it senses any noise whatsoever, it's going to actually make that user the main user. So if you got 5 kids that all have their audio on and unmuted, and they say something, or somebody in the room snaps or claps or something like that, the Zoom will automatically go to them, thinking that we've got to focus on that person. So let me get out of this and let me show you a multi-participant Zoom. I'll go through the invite process as well. Actually, let's get out of this meeting, and then I am going to end meeting for all. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule and see what that looks like. So I'll schedule a meeting. This will be a Zoom test, and I'll put it at, it says 1:30, but let's go. I wonder if I could do, yeah, what is it? 1 o'clock. So let's go. We'll go at 1:08. How about that? To 2, recurring meeting ID. I would say generate automatically. You can use your own personal meeting, but it would be the same number for every time. Require meeting password. You don't have to require a password, though. I would. Again, 2 layers of situation there where you probably do want a meeting ID and a password. Your video is off. And again, I start with off. I think you're much better off allow people to turn it on when they want to. Again, here we go, audio. You can go telephone only if you want. I would stress, I like the idea of this computer audio. It just seems to run a whole lot smoother. iCal is your Macintosh calendar system. Google Calendar is probably what most people will use. That's what we use as well. And the advanced options, enable waiting room, that just kind of lets them be in a holding pattern until the meeting goes. Enable join before host. Again, I would not turn that on because then you're going to have some kids in the meeting doing whatever. It'd be like not being in a classroom with 10 kids in there. You never know what somebody's going to say to another. This is what I would certainly turn on. Mute participants on entry. As the host of the meeting, you have control over who is muted and who is not, which is pretty powerful. And you've got automatically record meeting on the local computer. You may want to do that just by the very nature of having everything recorded. I would be careful, though. It just takes up a ton of space. So I'm going to hit schedule. I'm going to schedule this meeting. And what it's going to do, because I chose Google, it's going to open up your Google account, which you can just log into. And it's going to say, okay, grant Zoom permission, view and edit events on all your calendars. Sure. Why not? View and edit events on your calendars. Yep. So you're basically connecting Zoom to Google is what you're doing right here. So this is what the event looks like, and this is what it looks like in Google. You've got this information below, and this is the prime information that you want. You've got the meeting ID, you've got the password, and you've got the link. And this link, again, if they don't have Zoom on it on their computer, if they click on the link, it will automatically download the software that that is required for you to be able to do that. So we're ready to add guests to our Zoom meeting. So I will just go ahead, click up where it says add guests. And we had this discussion before. If I were you, another tip today would be to make sure that you have all of your classes in a contact label. So you'll see I've got a couple of contacts in there. But if I just type in teachers, this is a contact group that I have called teachers, and all of my teachers' emails are in there. You'll see robotics teaching here to classroom teachers. I've got a bunch of labels, but the teacher one that I know of has every teacher at Bridgton Academy in that list. It's a whole lot easier doing it this way than it would be to go ahead and type in anybody's email individually, but understand you can do that. I could add my daughter if I wanted to. I could add, let's see, let's do it this way. Let me add my personal. So I'll add myself to that list, although I'm an organizer up here, but there's another email that I use to add. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and that becomes a calendar event. Would you like to send invitations? Yep, I set myself up, so I'm going to send. You sure you would like to invite them from outside? Yep. And you'll see on the calendar, it's posted 108 Zoom test. I had to wait a few seconds, but here's my invite, and this is what your users will see when you schedule a Zoom meeting. You get the Zoom meeting link, but Zoom meeting link. It says, it's like it's a very typical Google Calendar invite. I've already said yes, but the important information are these two pieces right here. You got your meeting ID and your password. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make note of those member ID. Just slide this to the right just so I can see it. I'm going to highlight the member ID, copy that, And I'm going to come back over to Zoom, and I'm going to join this meeting. Looking at the time, I get a little bit of time. So this would be as a user. If you were a user, you'd be doing this the same exact way. So I'm going to join this meeting. My meeting ID is going to paste in there. You can choose, you can change your name if you want. And again, giving you this option, don't connect to audio. And then I'm going to turn off my video as well. That's just the way I'm going to start the meeting. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the way I do it. And I hit join. And I get the screen, Zoom test. I can join audio, I can share, and I can invite. So I'm coming in as the host. It automatically knows that I am the host of this. So now what I'm going to do is real quickly, I'm going to log into my laptop and join the same exact meeting. So you'll actually see the ability for more participants. You'll see me as a host right here. Let me go ahead and do that on a laptop, and I'll come right back to you. All right, so I'm back at the participants. I don't know what this is going to do audio-wise. You'll notice I've got Dave LePage host me. That's actually the one you're seeing in the top part of the screen here. And then you have Dave Laptop, which is, I'm on my laptop here too. So I guess I just needed to figure out a way to show you how your participants work. Notice you're looking at the host screen. So you can actually, this is the power of being the host. You can unmute. You can make somebody else the host. You can chat just with that person if you want. Allow record, rename. So as the host, you're pretty much in control of the whole entire meeting. Let me just much better. As you look up above, when you get meetings of more, you'll see the ribbon will fill in with all of the participants that you have, which is pretty cool. The other view is gallery view, which allows you to see everybody automatically. You'll notice that whoever's talking has got the bar around it. It's a highlight screen that basically means Zoom is picking up audio from something and it's giving the meeting over to that person. That's what I was talking about before. When people dial in through the phone and have video at the same time, a lot of people weren't muting their phone, so any little click or pop or anything that happened in the background would automatically change the focus to that person. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the phone idea. I know some people still think that's the way to go, and I guess personal preference. Within one or two meetings, if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 people in a meeting, you'll notice very quickly how the phone can become a little bit of an issue. So those are your participants. Again, the chat. Threw this in before. You can close down these windows or not. And here's what wasn't active before. Notice where it says everyone. So now if I put a chat out to everyone, I say, hello world, and there's for your coders. Hello world. This goes out, says for me to everyone. If I just put it out to Dave LePage or Dave Laptop, which is my other one, I say hello world. And I push it out. I've got, you can't see my laptop, but there's a little chat bar. And it says you've got a chat, and it'll say from Dave LePage to me privately. Let me send something back so you can see. And it comes back over here, and it says from Dave LePage to me privately, hello world too. These are private chats. They're not open to everyone. So again, if a student had a question just for the teacher and didn't want everybody else to see it, or had a comment, or had some technical difficulties, they could get a hold of you privately without the whole entire class seeing the chat. So chat's a pretty powerful feature. Record, reactions, emojis, got to have those. The other piece I would show you is, and the piece I'm going to do a Zoom on, explain everything on Monday. You can invite people from here too as well, ones that did not get invited. But this share screen, let me just pop this up real quick. There's incredible power here. I can share the whole entire desktop out to the chat. I can share a whiteboard, which is rudimentary in nature. You can text on it, and you can, but there's no way to really draw or write, which is where these two come in. I have tried the iPhone, iPad via AirPlay. It works slick, completely the way to go. And you'll see when I do the Zoom on Monday with Explain Everything, you'll see how you can actually have an interactive whiteboard through Zoom, and everyone has access to that whiteboard. So pretty powerful stuff in terms of what's coming out. But the share screen is certainly, we'll see what it's doing here. Yeah, so basically, you can't see it, but on my laptop, I don't know if you can see that. It's actually the screen that you're seeing in front of you is shared to the laptop itself right there. So pretty powerful stuff. I'm going to stop the share because this could get very, very confusing very quickly. um, Again, two views, gallery view, and some people like this view. They like to see whoever is talking in the big screen and then everybody else up above, up to you. I tend to like the gallery mode because you can watch everybody's reactions at the same time. So hopefully that helped. More to come. A lot longer than they thought it would be. I'll probably break this off into 2 sections. But if you got any questions, let me know. Monday, we're doing a 9 o'clock. I think immediately we're going to have everybody's video and audio off. I would encourage you to, I know Marty sent out an email with some tips as well. I would encourage you to certainly keep your video, make sure your video does work. Again, I can't stress enough that as much as we don't like seeing our own faces, other people like to see our faces, believe it or not. And, emotions and reactions. And I think it's not optimal, but I think it helps us out when it comes time to communicate with each other. So we'll leave it at that. But again, up to you. If you want to just call in, I know Marty's okay with that too as well. Use the chat feature. I am basically going to be running the chat side of things. If you need attention or you got a question or something like that, just go ahead and pop a chat either to everyone or to Marty, which is the one I'll be monitoring. And we'll see how this goes. But I think it's certainly a way that I see this certainly as a way you can meet one-on-one for sure. When you get with all of your students in a class, I'd like to, hopefully somebody will try it to do it with a whole entire class and see how that goes. But very powerful tool, and it's going to become more popular as we move on. I know the public schools just got extended to the end of April, and I know there's a lot of information out there they're trying to get out. And this is, I know for one, Karen is moving to this platform to see if she can get some folks involved there. Does work on the iPad, does work on the iPhone. I won't cover that right now, but just understand that's an app that is available for both of those systems that you can download and go from there. So thanks for your patience. I hope everybody is well, and I'm sure you'll hear and see from me once again. Talk to you.